Hi, Joe Glavin with City Floor Supply. I wanted to discuss today the Delmhorst J-2000. I would say that the J-2000 is probably one of our more popular moisture meters. That is a pin style meter. What that means is you have uninsulated pins here that will measure the resistance between them in the scale of moisture content percentage. So let's go over some of the features and what some of these buttons are, and then we'll stick some species of wood here and see what we get. So essentially the pins are replaceable here. A new meter comes with a set of pins. We have an entry point here for a data cable, and that will be for what we call the 26ES unit, and that's a larger insulated pin that I'll show you attached to this in a minute. We have our moisture button, our check. We have our species, which is we're going to dial in the species and inside the manual. Then we're going to also input the temperature. So in the kit, you're going to get a quick reference chart which discusses the buttons I just pointed out. You're also going to get a manual, and in the manual we have a species chart, and the species chart is mainly domestic species to the United States, but it does have imported exotic species. You'll see mahoganies in here, and cypress. Well, that's native, but you will have exotic species in here. If the species is not in here, just call City Floor Supply at 800-737-1786, and we will get you the proper number for that species or some sort of a correction. Usually it's a multiplier for the species that you're trying to measure. And the manual goes through some of the items that I'm going to go through right now, and one of those is the check to make sure that your battery is properly charged, or that you have a fresh battery or a battery that's going to work and allow the meter to measure properly. So if these stacked buttons here, if you press them together and you get a 12, that 12 indicates that the meter's working properly and that you have a properly a proper battery in there for voltage supply. So we're going to dial in species here. I have a red oak, so I'll look up the red oak number here, and let's see here, 31. Red oak is 31, and I will dial in 31. Come on, there it is. So that's the species, 31. Temperature, it's about, I have a hygrometer that we use, and that's measuring the temperature in here at about 69, 70 degrees, so I'll leave it at that. But if you want it to go from 70 to 69, it's by fives, so the next temperature is 65, so we're going to leave it at 70, and you can see how I toggled back and forth between those two buttons to go up and down. That's the same for the species. If you hold that button down, it'll ascend, and if you go to the other button, it'll descend. So we're all set for red oak. We have the proper temperature, we have the proper code. We'll stick the red oak, and you want to try and bury these pins. So we're measuring 8.5, and it's a pretty humid day today. Lots of rain, so that can fluctuate. I believe you're going to want to take multiple readings per 1,000 feet. You can look up those guidelines at Delmhorst or for the NWFA with regard to moisture readings per 1,000 feet. But this is going to measure your moisture content. We use these on every truck when we deliver wood, so they're a good product, and they're durable. Keep them in the case. Make sure you keep the batteries changed and a fresh battery in there, and you'll have no problems. So we can also hook up the accessory here, the 26ES. So the 26ES is going to come with insulated pins and the retaining thumb screws. So this unit is going to plug in to this port. There. And then now obviously for the measuring the flooring surface, you wouldn't need something like this, but if you wanted to penetrate below this 3/4 thickness, then you would probably pre-drill this to get to the plywood if that's what you wanted to measure, because don't forget, these are insulated, right? So this green coating is the insulation, and you're only going to measure between both tips of these pins. So that's going to be the resistance between the two. In the subfloor, if you drill through this to get to the subfloor, hammer this right through, you struggle to get this through any kind of hardwood without bending the pins. So go ahead and pre-drill them and then get yourself right into the subfloor, or into joists for that matter, if you wanted to get deep into joists. This is something that can show your professionalism on the job site. If you're going out for an estimate and you bring these kits in to measure so that you have a starting point, if you get the job, I think that's going to give you, a presence that not everybody's going to go to an estimate with. So again, you're going to hammer these in. This is pretty good slap hammer here. You would just hit it like that, take your measurement, and then record that. Again, I would probably do this through deeper wood to get that moisture content. Insulated pins, and the resistance is only measured at the tip. And that's the 26ES. All right, so if you have any questions regarding the J-2000 from Delmhorst, you can give us a call at 1-800-737-1786, or certainly go to cityfloorsupply.com, type in Delmhorst in the search field. All these units will come up. Click on J-2000, and number one, you can buy it there, and number two, you'll see the tech data sheets and information right there on the product page for this unit. Again, cityfloorsupply.com.